in a good position. You're playing one less series tomorrow to make it over to Melbourne. So, yeah, I'm very intrigued to see if Eruption actually have what it takes to put Rare Adam under pressure.
Yeah, you know, it'd actually be really cool as well to see potentially start looking towards the likes of if Eruption do make it, because when we look towards Melbourne itself, you know, we've already got IHC there. There'd be a cool little kind of derby, a bit of a narrative starting to build in sense of kind of who is the dominant side, the premium side coming out of Mongolia. Either way, ladies and gents, we're about to get underway in towards our first map in this second series. Eruption taking on Rare Atom as we start things off on Anubis. Rare Atom will start on the T side.
Ooh, clear through dark. Nobody spotted just yet. You see a lot of this on the pistol rounds. This duel seems to happen every single time. Players dropping from the heavens. Cascading down. No frags found. Mercury is so close. Unexpected, but Yami is his match for this one. Why are we jumping in backwards? Absolute madness. And they all fall by the wayside.
That's an MM strat I've ever seen it. And one that hasn't worked off very well at all. Rare Atom have been completely pulled apart, and this is where I go back to saying about how good at times this Eruption, well, from what I've seen so far, this Eruption Anubis, it's actually pretty solid. Jose makes a good effort of it. We've seen off relatively conclusively. Eruption will kickstart things oh so nicely. Brilliant work. Really, really solid start. Honestly, I've really enjoyed watching Eruption play this map. I've seen them play it 3 times now, and this will be the 4th, and honestly, it's a really solid team. They're very aggressive. They're good at taking control. Their reads into towards their opposition are fantastic as well. They're kind of a bit of a joy to watch in Anubis. And we saw earlier how shaky Rare Atom can be. It does make you worried about Rare Atom in towards map number 1.
For those that didn't watch the game earlier, the scoreline will look compelling, but Tyler dropped the ball on a good 3-4, maybe 5 rounds.
Yeah.
And that's what let Rare Adam kind of sneak their way into that map. It feels like Rare Adam, at least versus the rest of their map pool, Anubis is not in the same sort of position. They don't have the same depth. And I think, honestly, having seen the T side earlier, I'm not sure what Advent is super used to calling this map based on the limited info at our disposal. But in this round, just the Glocks, and they dead. They die.
Yeah, not looking good. Not looking good right now. They're getting tapped away at range. This is sort of, let's be honest, expected. Dobu, as long as it isn't too expensive on the way out, make sure you don't drop anything over toward the pistol. It's a flawless round for Eruption. Easy work, as expected. And now, of course, we can make a conversation about what Rare Atom are going to look like on that T side. Bearing in mind, of course, this is Eruption's map pick. Rare Atom have decided to start T side. That's their choice. And for me, their T side at times looked really shaky against Tyloo. So I feel like it's a somewhat risky pick, but generally speaking, this map is kind of lent in favor of the T side.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, thinking more about, you know, from the Eruption perspective, it's also coming into the series as underdogs. Why not take a bit of a risky move, put it onto Anubis when nobody's comfortable, give yourself a chance. I'll tell you who's uncomfortable is Dobu in the flames. Bullet to the head. Shinobi between a rock and a hard place, getting flanked through that mid-connector area. If we get to drop the bomb, maybe it's good indeed they do. Fury finds it. He has nades as well to block this off. This is now really awkward for Rare Adam. How do they get back towards this bomb?
Bonus. Potentially about to be converted. Bomb will be scooped up. Fury in for that flank as well. Just holding on the fort. If they try and rotate, they'll be out of a world of pain. Jam Young has to hit this one, and he does. Coolest to fall. Now things look a lot better, and thankfully Advent's posted up as well to catch them rotating in. And it will be a first on the board for Rare Atom, but that got very shaky very quickly. There was a world in which that could have fallen by the wayside to the bonus, and we could be on for Eruption just running away with the earlier part of this map. Not to be competitive, but of course that was just the bonus. Now we see the full buy over on the other side.
Once the bomb got dropped there, that looks so scary, because the player that drops had a full nade set. Gets his smoke off, but disrespected it did Rare Adam. I guess rightfully so. Had a molly, and I don't think they went down. So it could have been worse. And the individuals kind of bailed them out in the end. As we settle in for another default. So a lot of defaults earlier. And I hope Rare Adam have learned their lesson in terms of speeding up attack, because that really doomed them in a few rounds earlier today.
Arm spotted. You two will come off the back of it. Messy couple of space coming through, but Mercury will take the bulk of the damage. That being said, Now a position where for Eruption to pump the brakes and fall back. They've lost all of this control, though, over towards A. This is not exactly comfortable over towards B, may I say. All the information's been gained. They know they're pouncing towards A. Hence why you can see the rotations.
If they go quick enough, there are only 2 here. But every second that passes, add another 5% chance to Eruption winning this round. Shinobi, first called upon, is traded, but there's so many players in defense. Dobu up next, behind the altar, makes it 2. Third comes in from Coolast. Dobu's on side as well. Very nice, good hold, and it all comes off the back of that B information.
2-round lead, built up. Eruption. Not a bad start. Not a bad start at all for Eruption. Not looking comfortable in the same way they did against Tai Lu. And it does just make you worry about this map generally being part of their pool. They don't mind going towards it. Not seeing any confidence really coming from them. Even though they're starting towards the T side. They're trying to get that snowball effect into play. But actually looking too great. The buy is going to be sort of weird and wonderful as well. Triple Galil, 1 AK. And Jamyung just a tech. Now they're flying through. In fact, they will catch Dobu. And he might fall. He will to the hands of Mosea. It's a messy fight. Thankfully, Coolest brings it back for 1. But it quickly traded. As the numbers taken in favour of Eruption.
Ooh, Mercury, monster frag. Now Eruption's in big trouble. I think they've just got to pull the ripcord and save. And Yami's not even going to make it that far. Where was this pace earlier from Rare Adam? These fast mid takes. They're just giving them so much time to make decisions. They're putting Eruption under so much pressure. And that round was beautiful. I think they have learned from playing up against Tyloo earlier today that the slow defaults is not necessarily their forte. Get the space in towards dark, get the space in towards mid, and make the CTs more uncomfortable.
I agree. I think when we're at to slow things down, that you can just see they overthink so much, and when they overthink, they just don't look as comfortable. I like this side when they take aggressive fights. They just rely on the mechanical prowess because I think generally we can even make the argument that in the entire region, including IHC, maybe mechanically this Rare Atom side are a step above. We know what Jamyung's like. We know what Mercury's like as well. The only one who kind of misses out in that conversation with IHC and with Rare Atom is potentially Starry over towards Lim Vision in terms of mechanical prowess. Fury 5K showing his. So you will find Kaze. A side shot as Kaze was playing anti, I think.
Yeah, that's bizarre. It's a lot of numbers here. Make it 2. As Yami goes wide. Fury collects another. Not like this. There's so many guns down in the open, so backing off is not a choice in this situation. Jamyung called upon next. 2 fast frags. And my lord, they look like they're stabilizing. Low HP, though, on these couple of players. If there were Deagles on Shinobi and Coolast, maybe we'd offer them a chance. But I'm just a little bit fearful they don't have the weaponry.
Well, the rotation coming through as well. The P250 could still be a problem, potentially. Especially with the damage dealt on towards Jamyung. And even Advent as well. He's already sitting somewhat uncomfortably. 58. They've pumped the brakes. But it's allowed time for Coolest to get in for a flank. Hang on a second. This could be really problematic. I don't like how things are panning out here. They're taking too long. We've spoken about Rare Atom. When they're slow, it's not always the easiest of approaches. But they made their way in. Coolest will know they're coming momentarily, but down he will fall. It's all to the USPS of Coolest to try and deny. He scoops up an M4.
No idea, did happen. No idea. Jamyung tucks in close left. If Coolast clears his right eye, he might have a chance. Pull the trigger, Jamyung! What are you waiting for? What?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Did it...
Oh my
What's happening?
God.
Did he think 2 were alive or something absolutely insane like that and he was having trigger discipline? Why wouldn't he just shoot?
I don't know if it was that or if he was like trying to be cocky or something, but don't ever do that again. Don't do that again. What was that? Oh my god, that gave me a heart attack. And it probably gave his teammates a heart attack as well because he 180'd right at the end there. In another world, that could have been a massive problem. Jesus.
I think we need
square.
We need like a do not try this at home planner.
Yeah, literally. Oh my god, I'm getting my breath back. That is... That shell-shocked me that he's even gone for that. I don't know if it was cockiness or if he expected a second alive or something.
I mean, the CT was moving a lot, but...
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, back in the action, Fury. Corey adjusting from dark. Yami At a decent position, but now this utility is landing. Not going to be presented so many more opportunities as that bomb gets planted. There's still 2 smokes as well on this T side. They can chain those onto these choke points. And by the time these smokes are faded, unless Eruption commit through one of them, and we're looking more at the one towards the CT side. There's not going to be a lot of time left when this smoke is gone.
Messi, Jam Young, Pixel Peak, will find one on towards Shinobi. And actually completely beckoned the save immediately. The second that player falls. Got nothing to do with it. Jam Young, 2 kills for him. What an entry. 1 on the post plant. And that is all she wrote. Rare Atom will take a lead on the T side. Starting slowly but surely to look a little bit more comfortable. Eruption actually could be in for a tough fight here. Not only in this map, but the series. Especially if this doesn't go their way.
Fury just got totally blindsided. That's why this site is so hard to hold. Is as soon as you're up close from Dark and B main, you can just... The whole site is just visible to the T-side players. And if you're running out of Dark, you don't know where to look. You have no idea where to look. Fury gets caught. Pays a big price. Half buy around the saves. There was a double AWP in play by the looks of it in the previous. Yet to see Yami activated on the second, I guess, as he's took a top spawn aggressively towards B. Nobody home. Nobody home. And nor is Fury.
Nice shot from Kaze. Maybe not as much on towards his teammates' legs, but it's okay. They found the opener. Important round, I've got to say, for Eruption. They've got to tie things up, but their economy's dwindling as well. It's just sort of uncomfortable. They have a buy-in towards the next regardless, but if you want to see them try and lock things out, great second flash, I gotta say, but Mercury can't make it a double. Shinobi will trade him out. Unable to scoop anything up as of the time being, though, and I think he's a little bit nervous to push forward in towards main. Right now, Rare Atom still got the control, and of course, numbers in their favor. It all comes down to Yami here. He has to hit at least 1 and stay alive.
Tucks into the shrubs. Shinobi has no idea what's hit him. First shot goes the way of Yami. Nobody's nearby for an immediate trade, but Jam Young elevated on the platform. Does get a good duel. Coolest is clearly too close for comfort. And Jam Young keeps a level head. He has had a great map so far. And thank God somebody is, because this is becoming very chaotic a few of these rounds.
Yeah, and gotta say as well, when we look towards generally, today from Jam Young, it's not exactly been the dream performance from him. He had a really slow affair in towards that first series, and especially the first map as well, where we just weren't feeling too comfortable about him. Overall as well, he finished second to bottom in terms of he finished bottom in terms of frags, or second to bottom in terms of rating. -5 overall KD, and they're not pretty stats to bring to the table. A 0.98 rating. Not where you want to be at all. So to see Jam Young firing all cylinders now, really good to see. But they're flying out towards his A side. It's Shinobi for 1. Mercury quick on the trade as well, being great on entries. Can he make it a second? He may be tested, but jump peek from Coolest and dobu with 2. 1 being the Molotov. He's all out to Kaze in the AWP.
How do you find these fights one way from Coolest? It's actually dobu that finds the kill. And yeah, Rare Atom going back now to these early explosive sight hits, and the defense is a little bit too strong. dobu's had a couple good rounds actually towards that A side of the map.
Yeah,
and Eruption, they're staying in. I mean, it's a T-sided map, and they're keeping themselves in this half right now.
It's good work, I gotta say. It's actually good work from Eruption, especially when just a mere few rounds ago their economy was kind of on the brink a little bit. Now they've clawed it back to somewhat comfortability, or at least guaranteeing that buy-in towards the next consistently. Now we need to find them have, if they can find consistent rounds, then all things start to pan in favor of Eruption, seeing off this half. Pretty good position. Molotov will come through. Mazday will get out in front of it. Look for the first fight. We'll find it. 25k, the fall, and Yami will follow suit as well. It's all sort of dropping bit by bit, and they're calling it. They're pulling the plug. They want out of it. Eruption going for the save. Nothing to do with this. As once again, Rare Atom extending their lead to 2 rounds.
Yeah, they're not changing the game plan. B's a much easier side to pop, especially if you're close to Dark at the bottom. Because you got 2 entry routes. So difficult to defend. And I feel like they should just keep hammering that site. I think Fury's really strong. I think Fury is the Dark player, the lower connector into canals. And it just feels like he's getting no value, or he's getting caught in the open, or or maybe he needs some backup, but for whatever reasons, his hold on that position is loose at best, and he has been overcome many a time already in this T half.
That's agreed. Agreed. I think this is starting to look a little bit concerning in a way for Eruption when they're giving Rare Atom just these opportunities on T side, at least to remain quite consistently competitive. Pause will come through, but it's a tech pause. Hopefully not too much of a problem. There's one on the way in just a second. We know it's not Fury, even though he hasn't bought, because he's bobbing up and down.
Somebody's dropped out on the Rare Atom side, and it is Mercury.
Ah, there we go.
It's Mercury. Hopefully he's back soon.
He dropped that earlier as well.
Thick of it. It's getting exciting.
Yeah. Very much so, very much so. Yeah, he dropped that earlier, so it does make you a little bit concerning in a way.
Is the other game underway on the old B stream? I assume it is by now.
Good question. Good question. We're going to have a little look-see over there. That's, of course, Tai Lu. They are. It's 6-1 currently to Lin Vision on map number 1, which is Ancient, the pick of Tai Lu. So they change things up. Then Vertigo's map number 2, the pick of Lin Vision. And if needed, Anubis is that third and final decider.
Beautiful. Vadim, 80 ADR at the moment. So keep tabs on that, on the Vadim cam. We hope he continues in that vein. Always nice to see the coaches doing well, repping the squad. And is Mercury back? Yes, he is. Hopefully we're on pause soon. Do we need a medic or are we good to go?
Hopefully we should be all right? Get this show back on the road. There we go. Round 11 about to begin momentarily. 2-round lead for Rare Atom. I've got to say, so far, their T-set's actually looking a lot more comfortable than what we saw earlier against Tai Lu. So, against Tai Lu, I don't think we ever really thought there was a world. I've been apart from the very early part of the game where it was round for round. For the most part, Tai Lu always looked like they were in control of that game. Right now, Rare Atom making it competitive. Much more than they did against Tai Lu in a bit more of a longer term scope. So there's potential. There's definitely a world.
Yami tagged up a tad early on. As Eruption lean. Hefty numbers on towards the B site. 4 players. I guess Rare Atom have hit it a good chunk of times in the preceding gun rounds, but they have changed the pace here. 5 players outside of A. Shinobi's got a smoke and a dream. Cavalry is coming, but I'm a little bit nervous. It could be too late. Smoke is good though. Just by a bit of space. And Rare Atom held at bay from them. Look at the minimap. They're getting absolutely constricted right now.
Yeah, it's not good. This is really not good. They get wrapped, as you mentioned. Fury. He can even just park up here. If they try and make their way out, he can catch at least a kill. Information as well on more. This is not comfortable. Jamyoung has to hit some monstrous shots. In comes the Yuto. They're flying over. No one really caught by anything as of just yet. The flashes not affect the first time out. Shinobi will find one blind though. As cool as adds to the tally. Jamyoung quick on the trade. But they're all just falling apart over towards the A side. It's a massacre as dobu stepping up. And Shinobi will start things off and see things off quite comfortably. Eruption, it's just a really good hold.
Way too many players to deal with. Felt like Rare Atom should... I guess they got spotted a little bit early, but surely a fast take is the move versus a slow, drawn-out round when you've already got 5 over. Because the moment Eruption knew, they just pushed through B. And actually managed to get players back on site before the hit truly came in. So, I don't know. Rare Atom look like a team to me that haven't quite figured out their Anubis just yet. They've got good pieces. Some of their executions are really nice. But in terms of a cohesive product, it's not all there just yet. And it's opening the door for a team like Eruption to be in the game.
I agree. I got to agree with you. They're just starting to look a little bit more conclusive. Pop flash is coming through the second off the back of it. Mercury. Space to work with. Not really tested. So they know they've at least got a bit of an opening over towards that A main position. No decision made as of just yet. And there's a massive heavy B lean here coming through from Eruption. Do they overextend? Because they could walk in towards the trap.
Contact. It's actually Fury that goes first. But it is Yami that collects. He's going to roll himself out of there. As Yami's trying to get a trade. Not to be. Smoke will deny any chances. Yami peeks. I think he just saw a little whisker of Mercury. Is Rare Adam actually going to commit to this side of the map? And there's a lot of players still here in defense.
So quiet. We kind of spoke about how we don't like these sort of rounds from Rare Atom just because they never look that conclusive. Will they even clear cool ass? This time they will, but not properly, because he gets 2 before falling. It's more than enough, and Yami will see it off with the AWP. Oh, that's gone so awry. Interesting to see as well. You know, we see this Coolest like to pick up the AWP, but Yami, who kind of does a lot of the AWPing as well, this time opting for it instead, and Coolest just playing close. He's playing contact, and it's working.
It's been so many rounds since Rare Adam has taken mid. It's probably the most obvious omission to their T side. Is that the rounds they took mid in this game, they were so good. They was making Eruption unbelievably uncomfortable. And since then, there's been so many rounds of just group up towards the site and just go. And you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice in terms of what setup Eruption has. What nades do they have remaining? How well are they going to defend it? I feel like a team like Rare Adam should be able to exploit the map a little bit better. Flashes in. Labor, but he's got so many teammates around. It looks okay. Yami's low. 2-1-2. But wow, thank God dobu's nearby. Trying to collect guns. And actually, that player in towards dark can still fight behind the molly. Bomb is wide in the open, so... Look to stabilize a tad. Mercury collecting them 4. Some bullets in the chamber, but never allowed to use it. That got very scary.
Momentarily, most definitely. Eruption are way back in control now, though. We are starting to ask questions over towards Rare Atom. This map, from the 2 instances what we've seen today, not exactly conclusive. Not a refined part of their map pool by any means. Both Tyloo and Eruption getting control in the first halves, and it might be enough to see it off, generally speaking. And we go look over towards Nuke and think Rare Atom, they have to bounce back. Right now, Eruption look like they're on a pretty good path to seeing off this half, at least relatively convincingly. A 9-6 is a stark possibility. Win this round, it breaks the economy, and then it kind of locks it in.
Another very default opening. From the offense, free in towards canals. As the omission of mid-control is the same story again. Yami contesting with Jamyoung for that A-main control. And seems to be ceded over to Jamyoung for now. But yeah, Rare Adam, look at them. They're just... What is the plan? Are we just waiting for nades to go and then we'll do something? Because nobody's moving for any control.
It's so weird, isn't it? I mean, we kind of see a lot of teams try and bait out CT side utility, but Rare Atom really aren't even doing that. They're not showing any presence. And spotted. Coolest waiting for a pixel to work, or will be forced off the angle. Space created now for Mosaic, but Fury running info back over towards the A side. They should at least know there's a bit of a heavy lean or a bit of a presence there at the very least. Hence why you can see the rotation come through from Eruption. They've got such a good read.
What do you do? Mosaic is through mid. Jamyoung's joining him, trying to work an angle over the top of the smoke. Cool Ass is just there as Mosaic spots one player. Oh, they have to win these duels. They have to. Jamyoung with the first. Advent goes in. Despite the numbers, it doesn't go the way of Eruption. They had 3 players there. They just didn't consider mid enough.
And now for Yami. He's actually going towards it. I would have fallen as far away as possible. Keep the AWP in play. It's not exactly like they have loads of money to work with heading in towards the final. Coolest, nothing left in the bank. Fury 5k, only $900. A pretty position to tuck himself on the pedestal. And Yami should be okay unless Mosaic goes his way. Little pop shot does get him nervy. Will take one of his own. I don't think you need to pull the trigger there. Could have stayed alive. But no, head tucked. He'll be okay. We're all tied square 7 apiece. Jamyoung flying in. Oh, and Yami. That's quick. That's very quick.
Beautiful. Well, no reason not to go for it. It's the last of the half.
True.
Trying to remove that AWP from Eruption. As we see their buy coming through, I think it'll just be dobu. Yeah, he's the only player on. Bit of a lesser weaponry, but outside of that, we're not overly concerned. Early smoke from Advent. Where's that going? All the way in towards B by the looks of it. B rush smoke, I guess, towards the top of dark. And Yami ever present. He's been aggressive so many rounds here on B, and he finally gets himself a good entry.
Fury sitting close. A bit of a aggressive angle in a way, but it could actually work quite nicely for them, especially with the numbers in their favour. They can just play trades. Once again, rare atom. Things don't go their way kind of initially planned. And then they just fall quiet, but they're getting wrapped already. Fury getting in behind, and he lines up two. It's just so easy. Bomb dropped, and surely now a round done off the back of it.
We'll be set for 8. Mosaic has something to say about it, though. That is bomb recovered. Yami still aggressive towards A main. As there's 2 players on A for Eruption. They're both heavily concerned about mid. Looks like they're playing a higher-lower setup between those two. And there is a gap here towards Dark. If they get up onto towards the site, they of course know that Yami was aggressive earlier on towards B main. So if they cover that off with the utility, get the bomb down, maybe they can make this very compelling. It's
time to work with 25 seconds. They're clearing the site, and the site they'll get for free. They just don't understand probably that Yami is in behind them. If they go for an open plant, it should be fine. Smoke will come down. So at the very least, something for him to work with. Is he being held? Doesn't matter. Yami is so quick. And he'll find Mercury. And Mosaic all alone. Isolated. And little does he know, they are swarming, circling like sharks as Shinobi's in towards mid. This one's got to be done in a matter of mere moments. In comes the first. Making noise from Shinobi gives Mosaic at least a prompt. It won't make a difference. Yami will see him off at the half. It's going to be 8-7. It's fine margins, but there's a lead for Eruption. And a case and a point to the question of can they continue this sort of run heading into the second half. We're going to throw this on to a break. We'll see you all after it.
Hey Future Pros! I thought I'd take time out of my busy schedule to show you all a nice way to aid your teammates when rushing A on Vertigo. We will be smoking off A short along with a supporting flash. To throw these nades, head into the corner of the metal overhang. Aim towards the bottom of the thickest beam and simply jump throw the smoke. This will block off A short and hopefully stop a CT player peeking. However, it is possible for a CT to push through, but a well-placed molly will solve that problem. Now time for the flash. After you've thrown your smoke, back up so you're at the edge of the metal overhang. Then simply aim at the bottom corner of the sky and throw. This should hold off or at least annoy any CT player trying to get an aggressive peek. That's it. I hope your A rushes are met with an epic victory round win.
Just hung up, say you want away. You, yeah. You, yeah. I've been patient with you, if I gotta say, yeah. You, yeah. You. No, I don't mean to stress you, but you ain't even guessing that lately it ain't been the same. All of this test relation. Make sure you shine, you out, man. Just need a night, yeah. We could hop in the cool, hit the highway. Cool, we could ride away. Down, skirt, catch a fire with you. We could hop in the cool. Conversations, it ain't enough. We gon' need more. change. But don't get me wrong, I'm trying. You got that touch.
Welcome back. 8-7 at the turn of the half. Eruption, an ever so slight lead, but slight is the key word. It's only by 1. And Rare Atom, a good pistol on the CT, could start things off nicely. Mosaic, that's not bad at all. Fury will fall, but he might not be able to get away, and he won't.
They're pending in here in mid. That counter smoke is so good. And are they going to revert towards B instead? Mercury stands between them. Jamyoung's already flanking mid. Big decision. At the moment, they're waiting out the smoke. Bit of a peek from Jamyoung. Take a dink for his trouble. So he'll have to fall back. And Eruption are absolutely penned in. They're like sheep at the moment. Waiting for the shepherding dog to push them in A direction. I think it's going to be A. Yami's leaning up close. Maybe they're hoping for an overzealous push. But nothing's being presented. Here's the call. All 4 players through this tight choke point. Kaze, first to be called upon. Advent Connect. Kaze for second. Ever reliable on that P2K. And now it's just dobu. He's getting flanked from 3 directions. He actually has time to go B, but he doesn't know it. He doesn't know that avenue's clear. And there's too many over. He's going to hit the deck. And an important pistol round for Rare Adam.
It is. Really is. I think, you know, this is now cracked that door right back open. I think it's safe to say it's been shaky at times, right? This is not exactly been the most definitive performance from Rare Atom, where we can say there's, you know, a lot to like on towards this map. We saw early against Tyloo, very shaky. Even, you know, large portions of so far this map has been exactly that, shaky at times, where they've heavily relied on individuals stepping up and finding multi-frags to find success. But they can start things off well, maybe get a little bit of a momentum to run with. We could see an upset on the cards here on Anubis.
Basically nothing bought. Couple deeks. Actually, they're only on 2-4 loss, so dobu and Yami won't necessarily have all the bells and whistles unless a plant can be connived. Oh my lord, okay, Mercury. Rare mistake. Hits the deck. I don't think that rifle can be recovered. But any economic damage here is just absolutely enormous given the limited investment out of this T side.
Honestly, anything they take, I'm really going to accept as a big positive. I mean, they got kind of, what, 2 Deagles? Now an MP9, actually, for Yami. Has been collected. I don't think he knows. Happy just to wheel the old Deagle. He'll drop the Tech 9 back, in fact, to Coolers as he's left on 6 points of HP. Barely alive. Slither of HP to work with. It looks like it's going to be contact over towards B.
Jamyoung is actually all alone for a second. Kaze's now nearby, but Jamyoung has a lot of directions to worry about. Thank God Kaze made it over. And now the frags are rolling in. Not too bad in the end. Okay, it did get scary when Mercury went down so quickly. But 4 alive. Not too shabby. And now into the bonus. FAMASs galore across the board.
Okay, well, it's also a Atom. This is what we generally regard as a bit of a bonus buy. And in this instance, it's exactly that. They're not expected to come in and win it, but if they can make it competitive or expensive, we take all the positives. Eruption, full buyout, AKs on display, all the trimmings with the utility as well. Not that bad. A slight gap in the smoke. I don't know if that's intended, or it might not work against them. dobu will find the first. Quick trade coming through from Mercury, and the numbers are brought level. Rare Atom, despite having the slightly lesser firepower to work with, might be able to make this expensive.
M4 recovered by Mercury. As Eruption dig their teeth into mid. Smoke here from Yami. Allow them to walk in and now to sit in it and wait for it to fade. Whilst his teammates slowly crawling up B main. Shinobi's away off at the moment, so won't be dissuaded from a sight here. Mosaic doesn't know how close he is to death. Yami's on the angle and Mosaic wins it despite the FAMAS. That's the lurker gone and Shinobi's nowhere near his teammates. Eruption, I don't think they're in a place to commit here. There's only 2 of them.
It's rough. Definitely a little bit rough. Molotov will come through as well. They'll deny a little bit of the presence that Eruption were hoping to get early on towards that B site. But numbers not favorable for them. This bonus is getting closer and closer to being converted, especially considering time is most definitely ticking. Gumball spotted. And swing off the back of it. Kaze will find one. The experience, the leader, doing what he can, but he'll be traded out back to a 2 versus 2 with 30 seconds on the clock and the bomb yet to go down. And Mosaic finding Shinobi's through the smoke, but he's all alone. A 1 versus 1 as Coolest gets the plant.
Mosaic repositions. Oh, he's going the long way around. Back in towards mid. Surely he's not going to shift walk all the way through B main. He's going to have to start running again. He hasn't really got the time to mess around here.
Agreed.
He's going to have, what? 1 chance to get the kill. If that. I think he might have lost it already. The time is so low.
I don't think he has the time. I really don't.
It has to be an experience on the map to not understand how long it takes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. That I don't really have any words because he just gave himself no chance.
I like the idea on the flank, but you can't shift walk the entire way. I mean, yes, he could hear you if he goes to mid himself. So when he was rotating through mid and he was going all the way, he would have heard him. But the second he gets, towards deep mid, over towards where the T side to be set up, he can't hear you. So you can run from there. And he could have ran essentially all the way through main, up until close to the kind of the brackets themselves. It's a very questionable play there. I don't know what the idea was. He wouldn't have had time, I don't think, either way. So I don't know. I think that's a real throwaway around there for Eruption. If he just held his ground and was playing over towards CT, he probably would have been fine to at least make it competitive. Not a guarantee of a win, but his idea definitely wasn't. I don't know, man. I think inexperience, you kind of hit the nail on the head, it kind of feels. It was very questionable.
I don't think they would have made a mistake like that on an Inferno. I don't think there's any way. So yeah. It's a brutal one. They had man advantages a few times in that round.
True.
And they don't convert it, and it's put them back into horrid position because there were no saves, of course. Look at this investment. It's just Kaze that's looking okay. At least he's taking the first contact of anybody. First kill found. Mid is being contested, but utility will stave off the offense for now. And it looks like another rifle's going to get recovered because Advent's very close to, I guess it's an AK probably on the ground in front of him.
But they're playing close. This MP9 at this sort of range can be a real feed. Shadow spotted as well. Hold down Mouse 1. We'll find the kill. Looking for second. The flash is perfect. Kaze supporting utility supreme. And now in a 5 versus 2 for Eruption. Surely that is all she wrote. They've heard all the noise. They know it to save. And for dobu and Coolast, tuck yourself in a corner and see this one off because there's no way they're finding anything here. 23 seconds on the clock and it's just not enough time. Never mind the manpower.
I think Advent decided... Oh, he got it now. He held on to that MP9 for ages and not picking up the Galil. And I thought he was showing his intent to not wield that gun. But no. A win for Rare Adam. That investment was so janky. So janky in the mid-fight. Of course, the flash from Kaze. Kaze is the hero this round. Absolutely beautiful. And that flips this map and the route he was going on its head. Eruption of nothing in reserve. They're going to have to force by here, I guess. Around the saves. And Rare Adam are given a great opportunity to streak ahead now on the defense.
Gotta say for Rare Adam, the fact that they're able to kind of in the chaos thrive a little bit, that's Eruption's game. They're really taking it to them. And we already said about how Anubis feels like a bit of a win factor. Hang on. Now flying forward, I kind of just thought Eruption were going to plus W all the way out towards B. They do call their jets momentarily as Jam Young can spot the shadow. He doesn't matter. Coolest for a double entry. The solo AK finding 2 kills. That's the sight, and it might even just be the round.
I think you have to save immediately. This is not on. This is not on. Mosaic can drop in the following. Asking Kaze. The buy is okay. It's... Yeah, it'd be too much. It'd be too much, and they're going to have to fall out. 4 spies continue to trade. As you see again, that B bomb site is a nightmare to hold if you're being pressured from dark and main at the same time. There was no chance there. As soon as Majaman goes down, Mercury is a dead man. There's nothing he can do.
There we go. They have called it. all the way over towards the A site just to keep hold of what they've got. They should have an investment towards the next. No problems. Messiah can drop one. Kaze could probably drop one over as well, so it won't be all too problematic. But all it took was one man. Coolest, an AK-47, and a double entry over towards that B site is all she wrote as Eruption will tie this game right back up. We are getting a competitive affair here. In Rare Atom's previous game, pretty much from the halfway mark, you could kind of tell who was going to win the map in all three of those maps. This one, it kind of feels impossible to call still.
On we go. No AWP on the CD side. It feels like an AWP would be great on Kaze, just to lock down another B main play from the rifles. Boost is out to peer over the top of the smoke. But I don't think Adam should be presenting any opportunities. And nobody's actually in mid, so even this deep mid smoke is a bit of a ruse. They're really thinking about the site instead.
Uh-oh. Oh no, Advent. Again, Kaze, sporting utility, brilliant from him. And now he's stepping in the frag in apartment 2. They've crossed, they're wrapping back towards B, and they'll be met by Mercury momentarily. Get 1, 2, oh, give him the third. Oh, you want to find it as well. Mercury, this kid, he's unstoppable. We spoke about his mechanical prowess and what he can do with an AK in his hands, and that's it, delivered. It's all down to Coolest. 13 points of HP in a 1 versus 4, and you can already see he's given up. Dropped his sword, and he's left in a bare knuckle brawl to try and see this one off. And the Deagle will deliver 1. That's a bomb plan. Hang on a second. He's got something to work with, at least making it expensive.
Surely not. Surely not. There's a nice ring to Cool Last dropping the Mercury after such a heater of a round. But Rare Adam make it work. It's still a bomb plant though, and Eruption, given the last round was ever so clean.
Agreed.
They'll be able to buy again. So Rare Adam might be out of the woods. Mainly off the back of Mercury. And that, of course, the A aggression was nice as well to catch Shinobi in the open. But Mercury, man. Christ. That third kill, you just feel like there's no way he's going to reset his aim. And he does. He's just a mechanical monster.
Yeah, exactly. I think Mercury gets so often overlooked. I know you're a massive fan, Alan, but I think, in the general scheme, when we look towards Rare Atom, Jamyoung's always the first name. I guess Kaze, and of course, because of the old Vici days and whatnot. But Mercury, he's a monster. When he's on his game, this guy is unstoppable. He's been a little bit quiet today. If it wasn't for that 3K, he's still be in the single-digit mark. But if that's the confidence booster, if that starts to put wind in Mercury's sails, oh my god, there's no stopping him at all. Pause to be called. The first tack pause, in fact, by Eruption. Of course, I don't mind that it's the first because they won out the halfway mark. But since then, it's not been in their control. And they've got to start using these now to kind of, as best they can, essentially ice out Rare Atom. They can't let this side get hot.
And the thing about Mercury is that, of course, working in a lot of different regions and a lot of different events, I hear from a lot of different places that there is, X up-and-coming player from this region.
Yeah. Maybe
he's a bit undervalued and, we should watch out for him. And I just look at a lot of these players I'm getting told about, and I'm just like, Mercury is so much better. Mercury is so good. He's ridiculously skilled. If he spoke English, he'd already be on a top team. That's how good this kid is. And this round is, wow, absolute non-starter.
Cool for the smoke. What can you do, right? Kaze posted up into his back pillar. Can be caught from the flash from there. Needs to be careful. Looks like they're playing contact. No, potentially dobu sticking behind to drop some util. Also very cautious of the flank. His presence towards A, but it's only one man. That of Kaze. That's made a lot of noise too. Will it beckon over a rotation? Doesn't matter. I think for Eruption, they're already sort of given up in ascending towards this round. How do they find any form? They've got no pathway in towards the site.
So important that Rare Adam keep a round clean. 2-man advantage. Of course, over the various Anubis games we've seen today, Rare Adam have been anything but that. It's been a mess. It's been wild. It's been wacky. And I wouldn't count against this round being the same. His position's cool. Last can't connect on the first play. Tied up on his right. That's Jamyoung. Mosea's trying to rotate in, but actually he feels like he has to cover off mid. They're going to clear that first. They need to hightail it over. Still only 2 in defense. Cool Last has been presented so many edges of opportunities, but no chance to pull the trigger. Jamyoung hits the deck. Mazea's on site now. Bomb is planted. Cool last called upon. First kill found. Advent's in behind. Only way out of this is fragging. As Shinobi collects another, and Rare Adam are letting it slip. They're letting it slip. Advent. Maybe he'll be unexpected. Shinobi, though, gets the spot. Cool last is behind the pillar. And this is so awkward now. It's so awkward. Cool last is low, but lets Shinobi play first. Peeks from the angle. Shinobi surely is going to peek, and there it is. And they've lost it. They've lost it at 5-on-3.
How has that gone by the wayside? And this is where we look towards Rare Atom and we ask questions about what their experience is like on this map and whether they have enough reps, whether they've had enough officials to make this a strong part of their map pool, because those sort of rounds you can't be losing. A 5 versus 3 where your initial fight, you don't take any damage and it's thrown away in a matter of mere moments. And all it takes is the most basic set of util coming through to isolate those fights. So questionable. And, you know, peeking in towards the orb time and time again. They got so many freebies there. And Shinobi was able to clean house. Never should happen. Janky buy for Rare Atom. Coming in towards round number 23 as we're all tied square, 11 apiece. MP9, double FAMAS. M4, A1S and an orb. But a Moss convert failed to find this and their economy is shattered. Dobu spotted.
Mercury. It's had his moments in this map, but it's not been perfect. It's also proof of how hard this side is to hold when your B players are Jam Young, Mercury, and Kaze, and you're consistently having issues. Proof that mechanics aren't enough. You need the structure, the crossfires, the team play, the reactions. And right now, it's not all there for Rare Adam. Fury gives a freebie to Kaze. And it looks like Cool Last is backing off with the bomb, so they're rethinking this. It was primed to be a B hit, but a new plan is now in the mix.
Moment. Atom's still got a little bit of control to work with. Advent sitting close with the MP9, but that's not good. Jam Young extends. Coolest will pick him off, and Shinobi just pulls back. Yami can cut rotations as well, and he'll find them with ease. It's a very easy play. I mean, a little bit of a moving MP9 can always be a problem. They are wrapping through on towards him. Advent's stuck between a rock and a hard plate all around him. But Advent's making this work. He might be able to isolate more, but Coolest will drop him out and leaves Kaze all alone, and he might actually just save.
Glass cannon, no nades, no kit. This would be mighty. Absolutely mighty. If he pulls this one off. He's getting closer. I think he's going to go for it. Okay, game on. Nope. Thinks better. No kit. No time. And a bit of a deflating end to a round for Rare Adam. Where, yeah, the wheels are just starting to fall off a little bit. There's too many gaps in this defense. This time it wasn't B. Well, outside of Jam Young dying early, I guess. But
yeah,
across the map, they look so much more uncomfortable than they do in other, you know, locations in this map pool.
To add to it as well, we've got to look at this and ask questions of, have Rare Atom used everything they've got? You know, is there nothing left in their tank? Are they running on fumes right now? Is the strat book exhausted as well? Because they just don't seem to have an understanding or a read about how to shut down Eruption anymore. They're losing 5v3s as we've seen. They're losing opening duels now as well, with Coolest getting picks. And now he's back on towards the orb. It gets so scary. We know what Coolest can be like with a big green. This guy is seriously a monster when he gets going. And already a pretty decent performance from him at 21-11. They're flying out towards A. This will be easy. Smoke in their face. I've been sitting close to P50. It's a gap, though, and that'll cost him his life. And probably most likely the site as well.
Where's Kaze? He's the only one with a big green, a big weapon, and is he already saving? Might well be. There's a re-smoke here onto the A entrance. Maybe Kaze should stick around a bit longer, try and help his teammates. Jam Young, not ready for that. This round is deflating like a broken airbird into the ground.
That's it. Kaze is going to save. Thankfully for him, no one's really kind of poking the head round. Essentially, Rare Atom giving the A site and saying, you know, take it and give us our lives essentially as the trade-off. Take the site, have your bomb plan, have the round. As long as we keep the AWP alive, that is kind of the priority. Kind of a Mr. President role, as Mosaic and Mercury will kind of try and protect Kaze. A lot more utility coming through once again. Little did I know, no one's here to meet them or greet them. They'll get the site for free. Of course, it will be Eruption up to a 13. They're getting very close to seeing off their map pick, but it has been close.
This would be a very different game if Rare Adam has closed out that 5-3. But they're getting their cake and they're being forced to eat it at the moment, and it's not a fun cake, not at all. Shinobi's up close. I guess the AWP is still in towards dark and nobody's really nearby, so we should expect Kaze to lose that one. Mazaya hits the deck. And yeah, I mean, they're just coming alive, Eruption, playing a lot of clean, standard Counter-Strike, making it work, making Rare Adam uncomfortable. Eruption done a lot better job of taking mid than Rare Adam ever did.
Agreed.
So, I'm quite enjoying this T-side.
Yeah, they're using it really effectively as well. That mid control that they're getting. Doesn't really matter, but Mercury dies in the latter stages of that round. He only had a USPS, so not exactly a problematic death at the end there. The only thing it's affecting is his KD. But at this point, who cares? It's, like we said, been a bit of an uncharacteristically quiet performance from him. And it is starting to show. 13-11, 2-round lead for Eruption. But a full buy in response now for Rare Atom. And one which is a must convert. If they don't, Eruption, the red carpet gets rolled out for them, potentially seeing off their map pick and going in towards Nuke, the pick of Rare Atom, with a bit of confidence.
Kaze starts on B. That's where the bulk of the numbers are, as Mercury can test this dark control of his nades. Tight angle from Kaze. This dobu starting to fight. Flashes in. Kaze can't connect. Mercury left out to dry. No chances. And Kaze is not given a second opportunity. Jamyoung's trying to fight this, but I think it's all in vain. It's all in vain. Mosaic comes through the smoke. It's absolutely wild. But now 2v4. Make it 1-on-4. And this B-bomb site needs a massive rework. But it's too late now. I think this is game over.
I agree. I think it's done. Like I said, I feel like they've kind of used everything in the tank. They just look very lost now. They kind of look like they're running on fumes. It's not even fatigue, so to say. Just nothing left in the strat book to try and piece apart this Eruption side. And this is what we were kind of saying about Eruption being very decent on Anubis. And actually, with Dust2 being taken out of the map pool, it's kind of allowed them to go, you know, change up their insta-pick. We know Vertigo and Anubis, statistically at the very least, Vertigo and Nuke Massai statistically aren't exactly kind of strong points for Eruption, but Anubis definitely is. It definitely is a map in which they've been able to now take down some big sides. Not only are they taking down IHC and IEM Rio Quals not that long ago, Lin Vision earlier today, with the caveat being that the coach was playing, and then on the cusp of taking down Rare Atom. That's all three of the big hitters in the space of just a few weeks that they've beaten on Anubis, which shows how good they actually are on this map.
It's looking excellent. Absolutely excellent. And Rare Adam. Save comes through. It's, I mean, that considering that was the first pause as well, given the number of problems they've had in this map, is not a great testament either to, you know, their ability to have depth on this map.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't speak volumes. It's not good volumes. And I don't know, I mean, how can we get this late in the game before there's been a discussion between these B players about what do we change? Because they're just smacking their heads against the wall. Square peg is not going in the round hole whatsoever. And they've been playing a lot of similar Counter-Strike on this site, and none of it's worked.
I think you're spot on. Nothing really seems to work it. Rare Atom, of course, it is just that low bar like you were alluding to. It makes you ask questions of, can they find anything here? Bit of a gamble stack. A slight kind of gamble stack, that is, with 3 players over towards B. 1 rotating away. Make that 2, in fact. Wrong call. After very minimal information or kind of sound cues from Shinobi, they're going to stack over towards A, leaving just Mercury, who's already tagged, alone over towards the B side. And that's where the bomb's going. This is a very premature rotation coming through, and I think it's going to cost them. At least it cost them the ability to make this expensive at the very least.
For a second. Awkward engagement for Shinobi as he's pretending with everybody and actually goes down. Bomb is still inside of B main. As Yami chimes in. It is a 3-on-3, but oh my lord, okay. Maybe we should take notice. Kaze's got an AK. Kaze's got an AK. Kaze got an AK, but no armor. And that's the downfall. When Jamyoung, 25 HP, 1 bullet. And he will hit the deck. Plant is not on his side of the pillar. But he gets Yami. Okay. Maybe this round is on. Fury is low. There's time here to at least tap the bomb a couple times. And Fury, aware there's no kid in play. Balls of steel to not face whatsoever. And now this is slipping away. Now it's slipping away. Jamyoung's going to have to get on the stick fully in a few seconds. And that slipped beyond then. Just finding the kill now is the only consolation. There's no time for this to fuse. And Fury, without peeking, wins the one-on-one.
Gotta say, it's a Hail Mary from him not to peek at all. I mean, that is so risky. Usually we see kind of people, it maybe internally count to kind of 3-4 and then peek, or if you know they don't have a kit, go latter stages of kind of 7-8 seconds. But my god, fair play to him. It's a risk, but it pays off. A lot has been paying off for Eruption. 15-11. Red carpet being rolled out for Anubis as they are very close. One last hurdle, one last speed bump coming through to see this in their favor. Double up setup for Eruption on towards what potentially could be their final round as they've got to try and take down Coolest.
This is going to be the result of that attack pause. Jamyoung, secondary AWP. He's holding down B main, sorry. Posted up. Isaiah presents himself just a tad. But not overzealous as Kaze. This time it's flipped onto A. Adven's up close. Flash goes in behind. Second flash does catch Kaze, but it doesn't matter. Kill is there. More nades going down onto the choke point. And now they can get out of dodge and reassess and bolster up somewhere else.
Almost there. Sitting close. Need something definitive here. Flash is coming through, and Eruption just pumping the brakes ever so slightly. It's a good hold with Kaze. Got his back. He knows he can't be flanked. This is a solid little mid-aggression coming through. Mosaic should be able to deliver onto it. The very least one, so I say. Yami is just lightning fast. Flash will come through. Won't catch the AWPer. But they're doing enough. Down to a 4 versus 4. Time is ticking at 45 seconds. That range, oh, Advent. Messy fight could cost him his life already. And the lurk smoke will come through.
Have to connect him mid as Kaze, and he does. He does. As soon as he realizes nobody else can help out Advent, he ducks into the smoke. Dobu is so low. Tagged heavily down. And Kaze from the heavens, trying to rattle off shots. Smoke on his left-hand side makes it hard to take any extra duels. Molly comes later than the bomb plant. So there is time to set up for this T side. Fury's out in the open. Mercury is so early, so aggressive, fast down. There's a smoke on Kaze as well. They can go on the bomb or the choke point towards the main entrance. Coolas sits behind the pillar. Dobu with the first. Coolas called upon and can't get anything done. 24 HP. Not planted for Dobu here. Kaze's holding but can't actually connect. Mercury off the plant and Dobu actually wins that. Oh my lord. What an end to the map. I did not see that coming.
How has he won that? How? 2 points of HPs of eyes on. And I think, those rookie mistakes and errors that are creeping in really show Rare Atom's inexperience and kind of, how this map is definitely not a secure part of their map pool. It is really showing. Anubis is not a strong point. I think a lot of work needs to go in towards Anubis for Rare Atom before we can even remotely come back and then,